let's start with the Cleveland Browns, because I was a little, I don't want to say disappointed, but I think maybe surprised, because you didn't think that the Browns would go after Bates. But according to an ESPN free agent predictor, they have as the Browns' biggest free agent move signing the Bengals' free agent safety Jessie Bates. And I want to start with you because obviously you know this player better than anyone, being a Bengals fan. If that's the big move that they make in free agency, I think that's a miss.
Well, it's a miss only if they...
it doesn't address their biggest needs.
Right. Now, maybe they... I was going to say it's only a miss if... the only way it's not a miss is if they trade for a defensive tackle and a wide receiver. So maybe they go that way. If that's their biggest veteran pickup... Now, let me make it very clear. Jessie Bates is an excellent football player. He will make the Browns better. He's better than any safety the Browns have had in as long as I can remember. But I don't think that's an urgent need for them.
I wonder if Schwartz thinks it is. After looking at every single play,
it's a weird,
all 22s, which I'm sure he's done.
Yeah, it's a weird thing because, in a way, I was like, oh, if Jessie Bates is their biggest addition, that's not good. On the other hand, if Jessie Bates is on the Browns, I'm not going to say it's a bad move because he's a really good player, knows the division, knows one of your rivals, always healthy, young player in his prime. Like, there's a lot of good things about Jessie Bates, except I don't think it's a pressing need for the Browns compared to other things.
That's why I would be just a little disappointed.
Right.
Not in the addition of Bates, clearly an upgrade in the back of our defense, clearly.
Right.
But, to your point, we've got two red flashing lights,
thing,
and they're not safety.
If they add a good defensive tackle, a good wide receiver, and Jessie Bates between free agency and trade,
home run.
All good.
Okay. Yeah.
But if Jessie Bates is the only big target they go after, not because he's not good enough, just because shouldn't be the priority, in my opinion.
Brad?
Well, listen, we have a lot of holes.
We do.
We got a lot of holes, right? So safety is one. I'm still more concerned about the D line, right? And then the receiver piece, right? Because you got Watson, you got to give Watson some tools to work with. So I'm hopeful that they're working on something with Watson, but the D line is a major concern to me, right? Because if I don't shore that up,
what difference does it make?
What difference is there? I got in the backfield 20 yards down the field.
G. Bush, I've always looked at the position safety. It's like the most aptly named position of all of football players because it is the safety net. It can hide a lot of the defense's deficiencies. And from that, I think that if you think back to all those busts that we had last year, ultimately a really good safety that saw it happening in real time can cover for that. Where are you on the addition of Jessie Bates, and does that placate what you're looking for?
No. Jessie Bates is a good football player. If the Browns was like, oh, we need like one piece away. We need, maybe you didn't have strong corners. Maybe you feel like he could be a security blanket in the back. But the reality of it is, listen, safeties ain't supposed to be doing all that much. Like, there's a reason why you don't have Hall of Fame safeties every week. Because safeties, usually the Hall of Fame ones, usually can do two things. They can cover, they freelance a lot, and they have range and can tackle. So when you look at safeties that are in the league now, they don't even ask them to do too much. Remember Greg Williams had Peppers playing in the parking lot?
Yeah.
15 yards off the line of scrimmage.
Now Bates does a lot for a safety. He is very involved. He's involved in the run game.
He's got good cover skills.
Good cover. I mean, again, I don't think any of us would have a problem in a vacuum of Jessie Bates being on the Browns.
Right.
No.
You'd all be happy to have him. But when we talk about there is a salary cap,
right?
There's ways around it, but it's not like the Browns are where they've been for many years, way under it. So Jessie Bates is going to cost probably $15 million a year. I just don't see how they can spend that kind of money at that position.
There's going to be a casualty here.
If you look at Bates
for the Browns, somebody.
If you want to look at Bates, that's not the guy I want to defense.
What's Johnson make?
12.
Okay, so it's almost a wash.
It's a wash there.
But I don't think you can get out of all of his money.
No, you probably can't.
You saved 9.3 if you cut John Johnson.
Well, I think the writing's on the wall for JJ.
And Bates is obviously an upgrade over Johnson.
Right, and if it costs you only $6 million, in reality, that's the difference.
Right.
But if they spend that money instead of spending it on D tackle or wide receiver, that's where we'll have the beat.
I agree.
I actually think there's a problem with that too. We miss a linebacker.
I forgot about that.
We didn't even talk about that.
We didn't talk about linebacker. Listen, Bobby Wagner is available. I'm taking Bobby Wagner 12 times over Jessie Bates.
He's up there, though, Bull.
He is 32.
Let me ask you this. Of all the positions on the defensive side, because that was your area of specialty, which one is it easiest to coach up? Which position group? Because
That's a good question.
I had someone tell me it's linebacker, and if that's true, then Schwartz could have the biggest impact on the pieces we already have. I think the pieces we have at linebacker are workable. I do. We've seen it in Taki. We definitely have seen it with JOK. We haven't seen it consistently, and oftentimes that's coaching. So if that is true, and I want your opinion, if the linebacking core is the easiest group to coach up, Schwartz could have the biggest impact there with the pieces we already have. No?
You could coach somebody up, but it all depends on awareness. For me, linebacker is a feel. Like it's linebacker instinct. It's like a point guard. You could coach a point guard up, right? But at the end of the day,
to a degree.
That's what I'm saying. And to a degree, because the point guard is the feel.
You gotta have the instinct.
And it's like, okay, what do I need to get us in? And so when you have that feel as a linebacker, and one thing that Quell Jackson talks about is when I watch some of these linebackers in Phillips, he says, yo, I don't know if they reading keys. What are they doing? They don't have the feel for the position. There's some plays where you see guys just completely, I'm like, what are you looking at? What are your landmarks? Where's your eyes at? For me, I like Bobby Wagner because, first of all, he can play.
That's a 1-year contract, though.
Well, listen.
He had a good year still last year.
He was the best linebacker, according to Pro Football Focus, in 90 grade on as far as the linebackers, the best in the league. Now, here's the thing. I would rather have him and Walker's on. If you get Walker back, that's only a 1-year deal, too. Would you rather have Bobby Wagner coming off a great year last year, healthy, or would you want to have Walker, who's coming off an injury to his knee? Phillips is coming off an injury. JOK is coming off an injury. Taki is coming off an injury.
Right.
And Walker. So you got to think about it. And they're going to be trying to install a brand new defense. So these guys ain't going to be playing in the OTAs. You off an injury. They're going to be doing walkthroughs and things like that. I like Wagner. Now, Jessie Bates, I take him too if it's part of another grand scheme. I need another grand scheme. And we haven't even talked about the defensive tackles and receivers. If they're going to make these, we'll probably talk about the coaching here in a second. But it looks like these guys are doing everything possible to make Deshaun Watson comfortable. Finish the job. Finish your breakfast, big homie. Go get them receivers. And then we can go ahead and start putting stuff in place.
All right. Well, we'll find out. I mean, one way or another, they've got to make some moves in free agency. I was hoping, like you, I was hoping that would be a wide receiver or a defensive tackle. But there are other avenues of acquiring talent. You can do it in trade.
Sure.
And at this point, I almost think for D tackle, I'm fine with trade. I don't want to do it through the draft anymore because we've proven that we're getting goose eggs when we do it that way.
Plus, defensive tackles just take time to develop.
They do.
So a rookie's
so maybe some of these,
for the most part, and rookies just. So another rookie, I just see the odds of a defensive tackle the Browns draft in the second round, even if he ends up being a good player, being an impactful player in year one as a second-round pick is almost nothing.
Yeah, and Schwartz can coach that group up too.
Right.
So we'll see what happens.
Right.
On
we
that
know
front.
he can coach DTs.
Yeah, he's had great success with interior defensive linemen. So from that standpoint, he's got a great track record there. Now, he's had much better talent to work with.
Sure.
And Ndamukong Suh, he didn't need much coaching up. Nor did any of the other Pro Bowl talent that he has coached on the inside of the defensive line.
I will say, in the Browns' defense potentially of Jessie Bates being their biggest free agent signing, in terms of the defensive tackles, the only guys better talent-wise than Jessie Bates or of that caliber are not going to be free agents. Like we've talked about Deron Payne, they're going to franchise him. None of the wide receivers available in free agency at the moment are of the caliber of Jessie Bates' talent. Right. So now they may end up being by cuts or whatever, but right now, like Juju Smith-Schuster and what's his name?
DJ Shark.
What's the guy? The guy who's the Packers' leading receiver this year?
Valdez.
Not Geronimo Allison.
Valdez Scantling, I think.
Alan Lazard?
No.
Alan Lazard.
Lazard.
Like those are nice players, and I think Alan Lazard could be an interesting guy for the Browns.
Right.
No speed though.
What's that?
No speed with
No,
Lazard.
I hear you, but whatever. Sometimes at some point, if you can't get a speed guy,
Go
Hunter
back.
Renfro
Go.
played
I
with Deshaun
like
Watson
all
at
that.
Clemson.
Give me that Hunter Renfro and give me a McCall
but none
Hardman.
of those guys are frontline wide receivers at this
No,
point.
but Renfro won a national
Yep.
championship with Deshaun Watson at Clemson,
Yes.
and there's great chemistry.
Come on back.
And when I watched him at Clemson, I thought he was going to be
Wes Welker.
the next Wes Welker.
Well, he
I
had a
did.
good year 2 years ago.
He did. He had a great year 2 years ago.
And then this year he was
Well,
hurt.
but
and he
think
just-
of what was
they
going
were a
on, though, in
disaster.
Vegas this year.
Yeah.
And nothing was normal.